get going, guys. See you in just a minute. Okay guys, so we're going to be moving on to the ace match and your players. We're going to have a repeat. Let's see if this game bugs out. It's going to be Marine once again for pSi and V1 for Team Liquid Staff. Both of them quite happy with their performances in their games. Unfortunately, we didn't actually see what happened in the previous one. I'm going to maybe see if I can get one of the other ones to send me the replay so I can look through it later. See what exactly happened. And oh, I didn't mute and on my oh, you know what it is? It's because the VLC media source thing is bugged in this version of OBS. Unfortunately, I can't fix that. I want to, but I'm trying to figure out what I can do. I've been googling around for ages. Not really too much I can do, but we are going to be moving on to the ace match. As I did say, it's going to be a TVP once again, and we're going to be moving on to New Empire of the Sun. And here we go, New Empire of the Sun, really cool map. Not seen a PPT across any of my tournaments on this map. Yes, we have. It didn't record it. It was between Dandy and Dragon, so I'll make sure to add that later. But really, really cool job on this map. This is a map from 2010. It was part of the Shinhan Bank 2010 Pro League. Really, really cool season of Pro League there. Go back and watch the VODs. A lot of good games to watch. This map's main features is there is it's a high ground main and natural, but they are on the same level. They actually go down into the middle of the map. There's a couple of random ramps in the middle. You have the bits over to the edge, and we actually have a low ground third. So really nicely designed map. We also have the 12 and 6 o'clock island expansions. And really, really cool map. So let's actually head on over to the game. Should be a lot of fun. And let's get into our ace match for today. Okay, let's actually transition over to the game screen and let's get going, guys. So starting us off in the top left position, we do have the Teal Protoss. It is V1. And his opponent fighting for pSi is going to be the Orange Terran. It's going to be Marine. Okay, so as I said, we've not really seen too many PvTs on this map. I've seen a lot of them from Pro League. TVP and PvT on this map, very, very cool to watch. Lots of different things that both players can do to really try and get ahead in the game. Should be interesting to see how much both of these players have actually practiced for this match. Were they in the running to be the ace players before that day? They don't actually announce the ace players until the day it's played. So they don't actually know unless it's necessary. So did V1, did Marine, did they practice this map or did they mainly focus on Sinchapungnyung? Not really too sure, but we're about to find out. Let's see how both players do actually manage to play. And let's see what this game is going to give us. Are we going to have a quick game? Are we going to have a rush game? Or are we going to have a very, very, very long macro game? This map is very good for both of them. And depending on what the Protoss decides to do, it could determine the outcome of the game here. This is a very good map for the FD. It's also pretty good for Siege Expand. Just based on the fact you can actually sort of siege over the wall to defend the choke. The other thing is, this is a pretty good map for 1-Rax FE, but it looks like we will actually have the gas coming up from Marine, so we're not going to see a 1-Rax FE here. Going to see gas coming up for our Protoss player as well. Could possibly lead to some tech, could just lead to Dragoon range. We'll have to find out what happens. Looks like both players are actually going to scout. Marine with the perfect scout though will scout the correct way to begin with. Going to be quite important for him to be able to do that. Quite nice to be able to do that as well, just to make sure you keep tabs on exactly what your Protoss opponent is doing. And V1 is going to be quite disappointed by the fact he didn't scout him first. He won't be able to go for any form of gas steal. Won't know if there's a 1-Rax FE coming up yet. He will possibly be able to tell from the scout timing that there isn't anything too cheesy going on. There's no like possible bunker rush or anything. And is the map name text too big? Oh man, I'm very sorry, I can't fix that. It's just New Empire of the Sun. It's really annoying. There's a couple of maps like that, like Neo Electric Circuit, but I checked with Neo Electric Circuit and that fit. I guess New Empire of the Sun is just way too big. But it looks like we are going to have a very quick factory coming up for Marine. Is he going to continue adding on Marines this time to keep with his namesake? Or is he just going to go for that siege expand again? Looks like we do have one gateway with the range. Looks like the probe is going to be able to get in the base, get a scout. The fact there is one factory and there's no Marines coming, so V1 is going to feel perfectly safe here. And it could be possible that we will see once again a very, very quick nexus coming up from him. Looks like the probe will actually go down to the Marine, and the SCV should be able to get out of here with its life. But it's going to be close, and the Dragoon can actually chase this the whole way home, and any little jukes and jives by the SCV like this one can actually lead to the Dragoon getting a hit like that. So kind of unfortunate for the SCV, but you know what, that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. SCV trying to move over to the other base, possibly going to try and out-juke the Dragoon here, but it's actually going to go down because of it, I think. I mean, if E1 carries on scouting, well, if Marine carries on scouting with this, it's just going to run into the other Dragoon. So, will he actually see that the Nexus is coming up? No, he will not. So that's actually a pretty big moment for V1 to be able to deny that. Of course, we do have the Nexus on the way. Marine will not know if there's any tech. He can't tell from the Dragoon count either. And Rota, I said the cookie crumbles. Cookie, not quickie. They're different words. But you know what, we've got a command center coming up for our Terran player. It is going to be Siege Expand like I did predict. And not too much crazy going on in the Protoss base either. They're going to be using this pylon to add more space for his gateways later and also kind of help against drops. Just making sure that he doesn't lose anything. Marine's sending out a second SCV. He needs to find out whether or not there's a Nexus up or not, as that can put you in a very, very dangerous position if you don't scout the tech that the Protoss is doing. Looks like the Dragoon's actually moving in at the front, getting 1 kill on the Marine, maybe 2 kills actually. Can he snipe the SCV going for this? He needs to be careful though. Not really worth it to lose a Dragoon. That Dragoon actually taking some hull damage. Meanwhile, the SCV does actually get into the base. Will scout that there is a gateway, or 2 gateways, and the command, well, and the Nexus here, but here we go. Tanks behind this wall going to make it very annoying for the Dragoons to actually get in there, and boom, blue goo absolutely everywhere. Really, really nicely moved and focus fired by Marine there. Unfortunate for V1. I don't think he thought the siege mode would be finished so quickly, but we should see Marine taking his expansion as well. Looks like Marine, looks like V1 isn't planning on being aggressive with his extra Dragoons now. He's going to be sitting a little bit further back. Gonna look to maybe take a very quick third base here. Could be an interesting choice. Lots of different variations you can do. You can take bases absolutely anywhere. You could even take it in the bottom right, and it'd be a long time before Marine actually scouts for that. Marine not willing to fall down in the tank count this time. Actually going to add a second machine shop immediately. This means we should be seeing that second gas coming out quite quickly as well. Unable to be able to deal with this. That probe actually wasn't to expand. It was actually to just send in to the siege tanks to die. He will actually scout that there's no army on the way though. And that will allow him to send this other probe to see if he can get an expansion. There's no vultures on the way yet for Marine, so Marine actually giving up map control here to just try and camp back. He's going for a missile turret at the front, but he does know that there's no tech, or at least he should do. But as you can see, his academy is very, very late here. I don't even think he's building it, so very late scans, going to rely entirely on this one turret to defend. Hopefully for his sake, he does have another one here, but hopefully for his sake he doesn't get DT dropped. Of course, as observers, we know that this isn't actually the case. The Citadel is coming up. No support bay either. And he did go DTs last time, so we could have a DT engagement again. If you want to know who won the last game, you can actually see that we're on the ace match, so it's actually V1 that won the last game. It was a bugged replay, unfortunately, so we don't know the proper outcome of the game. I think I'm going to have to find a new version, as I say, of Sincha Pungyung, because for some reason that one is really bugging out replays. It's been 2 weeks in a row I've had... Wait, was it 2 this week, or was it 1 last week as well? I think it's been 2 this week where I've had bugged replays, but it's not been all the games. Like, a lot of them have been perfectly fine. So I'm not really sure what's going on there. Not really too much I can do about it now, unfortunately. But yeah, here we go. We have some more units coming on. Interestingly, Marine's still sticking to his 3 factories. He's actually going to go for a 3 factory push here. And I think he's trying to hit a timing to attack this third base, but little does he know, the third is actually up in this top right corner. I think this is actually putting a little bit of a spanner in the works here, as Marine is not going to be able to do anything. He needs to be careful of this mine though. This mine, if this goes off, this is going to do a lot of damage to the Dragoons. And for some reason, the tanks are going to try and attack up from the low ground. The mine, I think... Wow, the mine actually went off. He walked into the mine. How unfortunate. That's going to be a lot of damage on these Dragoons. And somehow B1 is going to allow the tanks to get up on the high ground here. The mine's going down in front of the tanks. He's actually going to be able to siege into the main base. There is a little bit here where if he was to get a dropship, he can actually do some really funky stuff. But it looks like mine's out in front of the tanks. He's going to try and siege into the main. He still does not have scanners though, and he's not producing SUVs, so he is going to go all in with this attack. It looks like he wants to try and kill the Protoss. The first observer does actually go down, but there's so many Dragoons here. Is this going to be enough to actually just barrel the way down through the Terran forces? He needs to micro them up to the tanks, so he's taking a lot of unnecessary damage. The tank down here actually doing a lot of damage here to the high ground Dragoons. And somehow, despite only being on 3 factories, he's able to do quite a decent job. But here we go, Zealots moving in with the Dragoons. A mine does go down on this Dragoon again. But here we go, looks like we do actually have more and more tanks going down. And this push has been completely obliterated. Marine pulling back all of his forces, still does not know about this third base. Forge coming up at the front to help wall this off, going to be able to wall this off with a cannon. And this turret is forfeit as well. The final tank looking like it's going to try and run back home. Run back to its allies. Looks like we are not going to see a third base yet for our Terran player. Still no scanners. Marine is playing incredibly greedy here with no form of detection. Only now at 10 minutes is he going to get the academy, and that is huge. We have the command center being built quite far back as well. Looks like he is going to try and take this third base. Eventually, looks like we do have some vultures catching the probe transfer. Only getting one of them though, or 2 of them. Really nice usage of the probe transfer. They're not actually losing too much. But is this just too many units for V1? V1 with a big army this time. Is he going to use it, or are we going to see a bugged replay again where they will just sit in his base? But you know what, the tanks there are going to be enough to defend against this. There's actually 5 really nicely spread tanks. Looks like some vultures can try and do their magic. Not going to be enough. How many gateways do we have now? We actually have 5 gateways. V1 is building buildings. So, that's why he's not building any units. He's actually supply blocked. And he is Protoss, so he can just build 4 pylons with one unit. That's fine. And here we go, looks like we do actually have the Nexus getting fully saturated now, going to be a little bit of a better position for him. What tech do we have coming up for our Protoss player? We actually have the Templar Archives and an extra gateway, no Stargate in sight yet. Just an extra couple of gateways there. Going to be enough to perhaps barrel through the front. And you say salty Terran. I'm just doing what Artosis does, man, but not as bad. But you know what, here we go, nice move out by the Terran player, going to be able to take down some of the Dragoons at the front. Not as good usage this time of his mines. He's trying to keep his army a little bit closer together. I get the feeling coming off the back of that last game, Marine does not want to lose to V1. We finally have a scan going down on the main. Does he actually scan the third base? He does know it's there. but he scans the main twice just to make sure. Still, finally we see a Stargate as well. Very, very late Arbiter tech here from V1. And it looks like we may finally see a little bit of movement. We actually have the Vultures taking down the probe that was trying to expand. And here we go, we've got the counter-attack coming in from V1. He's going to attack from the high ground into the low ground, but the tanks are not in position. And this command center is going to be forced to float away. Marine is going to find himself in a bit of a bad situation right now. He's trying to use his Vultures to kill the Dragoons, but he's not going to be able to. He at least does save the command center. That's a pretty important moment in the game. Does get some mines out the front as well, and one of the Dragoons getting completely confused by the pathing, running straight to its death. And we should finally have... oh, it's going to be Carrier this time, I think. Nope, it's going to be Arbiter. 2 Stargate Arbiter. Kind of interesting he's not going for 4 carriers. I guess he doesn't really feel that confident with his carrier control. Of course, he does have this 12 o'clock base if he did choose to get a shuttle and shuttle some probes over there. But it looks like V1 just going to play a little bit conservative. He has +1 attack again. Do we have late upgrades coming up for the Terran player again? I think we do. Actually does have +1 armor, or attack nearly done. Second armory going to be coming in at the right time. Going to allow him to start 2-1 at the same time. So really, really nicely done by Marine there. But V1's army is just very, very scary right now. There's not that many mines in front. The Dragoon's actually running in first. Very interesting choice, but is there just too much? Is there too much from the Protoss here? The Vultures were out of position. Is Marine going to be able to hold on? V1 has spent most of his bank. He doesn't have a big bank this game, but there's so many units from V1. He's breaking through with his one upgraded Dragoons here with his Vultures. And Marine is going to lose his position on the high ground above his third base. And this third base is going to be forfeit. Tanks in the main in a really nice position, going to help defend against this. More and more Dragoons actually going down from the back. But how is Marine going to be able to hold on to this base? This is going to help him. But here we go, looks like some Vultures going to move up, going to try and do what they can. We have more Vultures here over in the top right, not really doing too much. Oh, the mine drag! Nice mine drag there on most of the SCVs actually. And really, really nicely done by V1. The only thing is he has traded most of his army. He reset the tank count, that's most likely the biggest factor. And V1 is going to hide a base in the bottom right. But here we go. We finally see a dropship from the Terran player moving into the third base. There's no units back here to defend. 2 Dragoons isn't going to be enough unless they can get on top of the tanks. And it looks like they will do. Getting in while the cooldown of the tanks shooting at the probes is gone. And this is a pretty good situation for V1 to be in. He's not going to lose the command center. He's not going to lose the Nexus even. And wow, he's actually going to throw the Vultures as well, just to add insult to injury. He's not going to be able to save this tank though, I don't believe. And here we go, looks like V1 is going to go in for another attack on this third base. There is 3 tanks here in a good position. There is no Storm, no Arbiters as of yet. The first Arbiters are finally now coming into play. Kind of interesting that he's choosing to push now. But you know what, he feels confident. He knows that a lot of units are actually in the top right now. And he feels in a good enough position to actually move in. He gets his Vultures on top of the tanks again. Zealots on top of the tanks even. And once again, the third base from Marine being chased away. The Vulture actually being chased around by a DT. Not a fight I would often see, but here we go. The CC very low on health. Is it going to go down? It goes down. He doesn't manage to repair. And V1 gains a huge advantage moving into the late stages of this game. We have a probe transfer moving over to the right now, as you just saw on the screen there. And V1 is in an incredible position. It's going to be very, very hard for Marine to come back from this situation. V1 doing a really good job making use of the high ground here. Marine really needs to push up to this position, but if he does, it leaves his main completely open. He does not have that many units. But here we go, the dropship actually going to scout out this base. No, it isn't. Stops. I don't think he knows about this base yet. As you can see, he's not even scouted that part of the minimap. So most of the probes did survive in the top right, so V1 is going to be in a pretty good position right now to go a little bit further into the game. 1 mine is going to scout the probes moving over. Looks like we do have another scan going down into the top right bases. Wants to make sure he's not missing anything. Marine is playing a little bit greedy here. He knows he doesn't have that many units at home. He's got quite a lot of Vultures that's sitting idle with a lot of mines. One thing, like, I may not be a great Terran player, but one thing you do notice the best Terran players doing is making use of those mines. If a Vulture dies with a mine, It is not good, and he has a lot of vultures with 3 mines right there, and this is going to be too many units, I believe. There's not many units. The stasis field goes down on the vessel. All the tanks are going to go down again. And I believe this is going to be the death push of the Terran player. Looks like the vultures at the front of the third base, not going to be enough. The command center, the new one, just built, forced to lift again. And it looks like he's trying to hide a base here over in the bottom right, but it's not really going to be enough. The units out the front, going to be enough to bust through, I feel. V1 up 50 supply right now. We do actually have the command center being chased off in the other direction. Both arbiters do survive. And it looks like we do have a little bit of a split push. Marine does manage to hold on to the front, but he does not know about this bottom right base. And the Dragoons chasing the command center down. He does not want this command center to live. He has a problem with a command center being here, and he will do everything in his power to stop it. Looks like we even have a Zealot on the gas here, just being annoying. This is a very, very ballsy SCV transfer. He's going to give away the position of the base, and there's a DT there ready to move in. Looks like the Dragoons did actually get picked off by the tank. They were really, really nicely done by Marine. Still managing to keep the supply difference very similar. So not doing too badly is Marine. He does have this hidden third base coming up now, and he will be able to secure this base again, keeps it alive, has his vessels now to help EMP any possible arbiters. But how is he going to defend against recall? If a recall gets in his base, that is going to be game over, even on his natural. And this DT is so close to seeing everything that's going on right now. It looks like... wait. Oh, here we go. It looks like we actually had a dropship drop in some units in the back again. 6 kill Dark Templar, worth its weight in gold. And is there enough vultures here to really do anything? I'm not really sure he should be doing this. He's trying to go for the harass, and V1 is not interested. He has a big army. He has the position on the map. Looks like we actually have a scan finally going down in the bottom right to see the base. So he does know the base is here. For some reason, V1 is choosing to engage this. I guess he thinks he can kill this army, and that he can. There's not really that much from the Terran player. Just vultures are left. We should have an arbiter coming in here soon as well. Storm is done. Gonna make it even easier, and he's gonna find this base. He's gonna be able to take this down immediately, and all of these SCVs are gonna run to their death into the army. Are we gonna actually have a storm on them? There's no real need to waste the energy, I don't think. And just so much damage being dealt to Marine. Marine cannot catch a break. Looks like he's trying to add some mines outside the front of the Protoss base, but it's not really going to be enough. V1 with such a huge advantage now. 4 bases, 2-3. This base finally mining again. He's not mining from the gas. That's only just now coming up. And this command center is doomed to die. This Dragoon has a vendetta. His friend died trying to kill the other command center over at the 9 o'clock. And he wants revenge. He gets it. And once again, V1 in such an incredible position. He's at 2 upgrades against the 2-1. Very good upgrades for the Terran player at this stage in the game. But here we go. Here is that recall that I was talking about. Looks like he is going to be deterred. He's not going to fly in here, but it looks like he's going to recall the third base instead. Really, really nice usage of his arbiters here. He could actually recall both locations at once. Get a recall onto mines, though. Needs to be careful. No, he's not going to recall there. He's just pulling all the units away. Is he going to go into the natural? The arbiter's just juking and driving everywhere, trying to find an opening to actually get a recall off. But here we go, actually losing a dropship once again. Bit unfortunate there for Marine. Really nice usage of mines though, not really going to be enough to take down any units. Gets a Dragoon though, really, really nice job. Looks like we're finally going to have this recall coming in. Could be for a stasis, might be a recall in the main. I'm not really sure it matters. He's actually going to, wait. He stasis his own Dragoon. Did he do that to save it? An EMP goes down as well, but I don't think it really matters. That is a mana stasis. Wait, what can Marine actually see? Oh, he can see the cloaked Dragoon because it's stasis. That's kind of funny. I've never seen that before. But that's like one of the most amazing stasises I've ever seen. He does not have enough energy for a recall anymore due to the EMP, but Marine is almost mined out. And the big benefit that we do have from V1 is V1 took the 2 other mains. It's going to be very difficult for Marine to take another base. He should have really gone for a island expansion, but it makes it very difficult against the things. And here we go, we've got another recall coming in. This is going to recall. Please do not recall on top of mines. There's no mines in the middle line. He's going to recall here. Nice mine goes down, killing 4 dragoons immediately. There's no scan. No scan has been put down. He's not scanning his third base. He's not seeing this. Oh no. Finally a scan goes down, but he's taken so much damage already, and what a recall from V1. I don't know where Marine's attention was, but it was not on his third base for that. Did not see the minimap. And I know this isn't a bugged replay this time. And this is so unfortunate for Marine. Another command center going down at the 9 o'clock position. And the final tank is going to go down. Marine is mined out. He has a total of about 200 minerals, maybe even less, across his main and his natural, just about over 200. And this final army is all Marine is going to be able to do. He doesn't even have enough to make another SCV at this point. Looks like he's trying to move over, trying to get a scout off with this SCV for some reason. But the only option he has is to try and salvage enough minerals to get a dropship and take another base. But here we go, there's another full energy arbiter coming in. This is going to go for another recall. Marine is waiting here, but he is not going to be able to take this. He's going to scout in, going to find out that the main has been taken. Not going to be feeling good, and here is going to be the thing that kills him. He's not looking at the right place. He's not going to be able to EMP. The recall fails. The recall failed. It didn't work. What on earth are we watching here? A recall failed. It's okay, I say full energy, it's close enough, but the recall actually failed to go off. I think the building stopped it somehow. Oh, he cancelled it. Okay, that was a bit unfortunate. But what a mistake there by V1. I mean, it doesn't really matter too much. Marine is just trying to stay in this game. He's not even mining from these patches. I mean, surely this isn't a bugged replay again, right? I mean, what is Marine attempting to do? He's not mining. He's got minerals here, but he's not mining them. He's going to try and take this base. Wait, he has a dropship. It's bugged again, hasn't it? Oh my god, we've got another bugged replay from V1. I don't know. It must be, right? What the heck? Okay, this is really weird. That's 2 bugged replays from V1. Unless it's not bugged. Maybe he just knows he doesn't have to attack. He's not doing anything with his money, though. Like, he's not building anything. He is moving units around, but... what's his plan? This is floated here, so... okay, so I've got another bugged replay from them. I'm gonna have to find out who sent this replay over. At least I know it's not the map. Someone has to repair their client. Like, Marine just GG'd again, and V1 takes a convincing victory on that third